Konnichiwa minna. Hello everybody. In this video I'm going to be talking about chapter 1 of Franken Fran. If you guys would like to see more Franken Fran videos from me, definitely subscribe down below. So, let's get started. So, the name of the chapter is Brains. So that's the name of the first chapter. So, let's get started. So we see a guy driving in a van, and he's talking about the genius Madaraki Naomitsu, he's my last hope. And then we see a Frankenstein girl named Fran, so makes sense. Franken Fran, Frankenstein, that makes more sense. That's why she has the bolts in her head. And then she's saying, oh, the professor, he's not here at the moment, but we can talk further inside. And then she explains about the professor, that he was in a world war, doing research. He traveled to America and Israel, and then he returned to Japan. And so he'd be roughly around 80 years old, and he's a monster. And basically Fran explains that, basically your son passed away in a car accident, saving a child's life, which is super sad. And then his mother is having a tough time dealing with her son's death, so that the husband, the wife's husband, basically wants this scientist to revive his son. Yeah, so he's been hearing rumors about him, and basically Franken Fran explains that he's not a nice scientist. He's a scientist from, the place where evil people go, when they die. A man who possesses such surgical skills that he is capable of rising the dead. A man called himself the Spider's Thread. And I came looking for this man with the power to dispel death. So he's able to resurrect people from the dead, like a zombie apocalypse, I guess. I don't know. Yeah. So then we see these two guys looking very weird, and Frank and Fran is all like, it would be fine if I helped you alone, and her eyes start popping out of her head. I'm like, yeah, Fran is weird, very weird. And then she's all like, oh, pardon me, this always happens to me at the worst time. Yeah, so then these two guys are walking around the facility, and they see more zombies? It looks like zombies. Maybe, I guess. Oh, so they explain it's a monster house, so they're in a house with monsters. Yep. And then Fran, explains, remember this, Hokita. As a general rule, raising the dead is impossible, okay? Well, that's true. That's definitely true. So, yeah. And then Fran says, oh, of course, tonight's gonna be a full moon, so yeah, no problem, go out and have fun. And then so Fran takes out a fishing pole, with some bait on it, and this cat is playing with it, kind of like a cat with string, cats really like strings and stuff. And then Fran explains the real problem lies in how we define what exactly is classified as human. I can remake him, but it'll be different. I can make a clone, but that won't be returning. But that won't be returning a dead son either. So Franken Fran like explains that she can create a clone. So we can't necessarily bring his body back to life, but she can create a clone of him. And then she says, it's all a matter of software and the user. I'm like, Fran, we're not computers. Humans are not computers, okay? And then, yeah, so the son's dad is all like, I'm fully aware, that's why relying on Madaraki to help. And then we see Fran with her surgical cloak on, I guess. Sorry to keep you waiting so long. I'm here to bring your son back. And then she's all like, oh, let's get started. And then we go to the room and we see his son on the table. So they froze him, basically. That way to prevent the body from decomposing. And then Franken Fran is like all excited, like, let's get started with this procedure. So basically, Fran takes this syringe. So basically, Fran takes like a rubber band, like it's like, you know how like when you get your blood drawn, they tie a rubber band around like your elbow like this, to pop a vein through your arm, and that makes it easier to inject the syringe. So basically, we see the syringe, and she's injecting it into his arm. And she's saying that we made a slight modification just to take a good long rest, but everything will be fine. So she injects like anesthesia, like I guess. Yeah, so to prevent like pain, like with anesthesia does. And she's like, oh yes, and before I forget, the charge for this procedure is 400 million yen. Dang, that is a lot of money for a procedure. Like, wow. And then she's all like, let's begin the operation. And then we see her with all these arms. She can just spawn a whole bunch of arms. And then she's all like, cardiogram, okay? Prepare for the iodine while I make the first incision. Yeah, so she's about to do surgery on this guy. My body can't speak. Anyone please help me? Dang, so he's awake during this procedure, by the way. So they didn't put him to sleep. She just put anesthesia in him. And then she's all like, artificial heart operation. Nerve response found. Blood vessels connected. We're moving on to the sun. Now performing organ removal. What the heck is going on? Send 3.8 volts to the brain. Oh wait, to the brain stem in 3 seconds, in 3-second intervals. System on vacation is looking favorable. Prepare the amp. Cerebral extraction from the parent is complete. I don't know how surgery works, guys. Definitely leave it in the comment section below. Like, I was like, is that typical surgery? Because I'm not a surgeon, so I don't know how half this stuff even works. And then he looks like he's like screaming because he's probably freaked out, which I don't blame him. I'd be freaked out too. And Masui-san, are you awake? You've been out cold for a week, thank God. So it was a dream. And he's like, and then Fran is like, not quite. My head, I've wanted to talk to you, sir. I haven't forgotten that you've killed me. And now we're together again. We'll always be together. Let's have fun. This is some scary stuff. Well, it wasn't quite what I was hoping for. Oh. I've connected the son's brain to the father's brain. Of course, the son's brain had long since died, so that the father's brain provided something of a secondary power source for the son's brain. Whoa, wait a minute. So basically, Fran takes half this guy's brain, and then takes half of the son's brain, which he's already dead, and fused it with his brain? What the heck? This is some wow, this is some dark stuff. His brain is also acting as a dispository for all his son's personal information, so they'll feel like one person, so that the father's brain is basically playing a host to the son's. Basically, the father is now both himself and his son, but they should still remain relatively separate personalities. I even modified the neck to allow the head rotation a full 270 degrees. That way, when the father's personality is in control, he can use his face, and the son can take his turn in front as well. A perfect human picture of efficiency. This is weird as fire truck. So he takes half of he has half his son's brain in his brain, and then like half his head on the back of his head. What kind of surgery is this? It's like, I want a freaking refund. I bet they're having a tearful reunion right now. There's nothing that makes me happier than moments like this. I would not be happy. I want a refund. This is so wonderful. I wonder when the professor will be coming back. And yeah, so she's all like, I hope the professor gets back soon. I wonder, you think maybe they didn't want to be put together. What do you mean? Okita, how dare you rain on my parade? No dinner for you. Well, they are father and son. I guess it'll work out. So yeah, guys. That is the end of chapter 1, Brains, from the series Franken. Yeah. That is a weird chapter. Wow. Like, it's like, oh, we can't bring your son back from the life, so let's just put part of your son, literally, into your body. Just to help you, like, remember him. You know? And I'm like, that's weird. That is, yeah, Franken. This is definitely going to be a weird series. Very dark series. And I'm like, okay. Fine, whatever. So yeah, guys, I hope you guys enjoy this video. Please leave a comment, like, and subscribe, and let me know what you guys think about Franken down below. And let me know if you would like to see more chapter reviews of Franken. I would love to hear what you guys have to say. So yeah, guys, I will see y'all next time. Matane!